Are you the same Samuel Ramirez who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 3263 for the offense of assault, family, household, impeding breath or circulation on November 7, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? You're gonna need to speak up. All right, state,
Yes, Your Honor, we're here this afternoon on the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Sorry, maybe I'll put this 1 second.
yes,
Violation of condition number 4.
just 1 second. Guys, we're on the record, so if you could not talk behind the court reporter, because it makes it difficult for her to hear. All right, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Violation of condition number 4. In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Samuel Ramirez, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, October, and November 2024, and violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True. We'll waive the remaining violation, Your Honor.
Any objection to the state's waiver?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there proposed agreement? State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, state's requesting 2 years imprisonment. This in TDC.
Your Honor, we're asking for the court to alter and amend the conditions of probation. Mr. Ramirez realized that he made a bad mistake of not showing up for probation. He had transportation problems, but he acknowledges that he should have gone to probation. When he was arrested on this case, Your Honor, the victim on the case is the complaining witness is his sister. He was living with his sister and his mom. After this incident, he moved out and went to live with his dad, which mom and dad are divorced. And that was kind of one of the problems that arose, Your Honor, which Mr. Ramirez has mental health issues. I believe that he was scheduled to have a make evaluation, which I don't think ever took place. The family confirms that there's serious mental health issues. Mr. Ramirez has problems holding a job. However, Mr. Ramirez, which he's in court here with Mrs. Ramirez, they're separated, they're divorced, but they're both here. He has
What is his relationship with Amanda Ramirez?
brother and sister,
Okay,
and she doesn't want him to go to prison. None of the parents want him to
so
go.
why is he not reporting? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Samuel Ramirez.
Why are you not reporting?
I had communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
I had communication unavailable.
What do you mean you had communication unavailable?
Just cellular communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
Cellular communication unavailable.
What do you mean? You did not have a cell phone? So why didn't you report to probation and let them know? You could have got on the bus and went to probation. No, I'm trying to figure out why I shouldn't revoke you. What have you done since you've been on probation?
And
No, have you done anything? Let's start with this. All right, we know you didn't report because you said you did. Have you had employment?
no, but I've been searching.
I'm sorry, what?
No, but I've been searching for employment.
All right, so that's been since 2022. So you haven't had employment since 2022 and you've been searching for employment? All right. Did you do any of your community service hours?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've done some community service hours, or you go somewhere and you work for free. You've done that?
I believe it was paid off.
All right. Did you pay that because you didn't have employment? Who paid that for you?
Off.
All right. So did you complete the hostility and aggression course? Did you abide by field visits?
No, in person. Oh,
So-
is it include visits?
Field visits,
Yes.
that's where people come out to your house. No, I mean, did probation come out to your house and visit you? All right. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything since 2022, and it's 2025.
And I think it goes back to the mental health issues, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, how can anybody help him if he doesn't show up to be helped?
Yes, well, you were additionally, at the beginning of this month, we picked up two new charges there at large in unindicted cases for assault, choking second, and aggravated assault with deadly weapon.
The complainant, well, the alleged victim on that incident, Your Honor, is Mr. Ramirez. He decided not to, he doesn't want to file any charges against his own son. He doesn't want him to go to prison either.
Well, here's,
He's in court here also this morning, he's been here this morning, all morning.
all right, I'll hear from his father, but my problem is he hasn't done anything. Nobody can help somebody if they won't even do the minimum, and the minimum is showing up. And he hasn't done anything on probation. And maybe part of the problem is the family, instead of having him do his community service hours, they're paying for it. I mean, if you want to call him as a witness, I'll keep an open mind and listen to him.
I'm not trying to say defense is not being truthful, but we can't verify as well ourselves on our end who the victims of those cases are, because the cases being so new, they're not.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just want to, if he wants to come and testify,
I'll call Mr. Ramirez to the,
all right. Hello. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I'm a little hard of hearing also.
Okay, no problem. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Efrain Ramirez.
All right, what do you want to tell me about your son?
He's been a good son until a couple of years ago when he started changing, isolating himself, not talking to friends, not talking to family, not going out, not communicating. I miss my son, but he used to be. And he's not there. So we're seeking for help, you know.
Let me ask you this. Has he always looked like this?
No,
I mean, buffed up and everything?
no, his smile is gone.
No. I mean, his body type. Has his body type always been like that?
He's been exercising since he was pretty young.
No. But the body that I'm seeing right now, is that the way his body has always been of late? When did his body start being that way where he's super muscular? And let me just tell you where I'm going with this. Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Has he been using steroids?
Not to my knowledge, and I always asked him. He wasn't this big. When he was exercising, he was very lean and muscular. But in the last 6 months or so, he stopped exercising and just eating and not doing anything.
So he hasn't been exercising and he's still built that way
Yeah, he's been
in
eating.
6 months.
He's been eating a lot.
Well, I mean, if he shouldn't be that muscular then.
Again, I work and we have weights at home. And for me to find out if he was doing exercise.
Miss, I'm sorry, you're gonna have a seat.
I know that he loves exercising and he loves eating. But as far as steroids or any other kind of muscle enhancement, I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, just for a moment. Deputy Laura? Can scroll up on that. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So to my knowledge, he hasn't been using anything. He's just big. He's been big.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
have you tried to attempt to get help, medical treatment for your son?
Yes, I need to go to a health facility and I talked to the director and the director was willing to help. But unfortunately, it was impossible for us to make him come to this facility. And the director said that the only way that she would be able to help is, again, if he was back in here or back in jail, then she will come and request to give him some sort of help.
And when the state says that he had an altercation on May the 3rd, are you the person that involved in the altercation?
And the last altercation,
Yes,
yes,
and that was with your son.
yes.
Do you want him to go to prison?
I don't want him to go to prison. I want him to get the help needed.
And if the judge decides to give him one more chance and place him back on probation, are you willing to ready to help your son some way?
Always,
And you own a business, correct?
I do.
And you, at one point, your son worked for you?
Not only work, but I train him to do what I do for a living.
And is that something that you will consider also if the judge puts him back on probation?
Yes, I would.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Yes, I'm sorry, so I didn't catch your first name?
My name,
Yes,
Efren.
Efren. I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
I
okay?
can,
I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
yes,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay, well, Mr. Ramirez, has your son ever assaulted your daughter before?
That was the first time that I know of.
Okay. And has he ever been violent or assaulted with you?
I was a little confrontational, I guess, but never physical.
Never physical, so has he ever attacked you with weapons?
No,
Has he ever tried to choke you?
no. I mean, not really. I mean, no, but I know, but I can recall.
Okay, so the incident that you were trying to describe earlier, that happened at the beginning of the month. Can you describe that a little bit more? What happened that day?
He had one episode where I guess he wasn't able to control himself because I brought a friend home
Okay.
and he wasn't happy about that. And
So what
I
did he do
just,
then? So what did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
I'm sorry.
What did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
He threw some furniture on the floor. And I just told him that, what the issue was, and he wasn't communicating with me, so I don't know what was going on with him.
Okay, so what happened after he threw the furniture?
He, threw me on the floor, and, I told him that, if that was a way for him to release that anger, I didn't care, that he will always be my son and I'll always love him.
I understand. But you said he threw you on the floor?
Yeah.
How did he throw you on the floor?
I'm sorry?
How did he go about throwing you on the floor?
Well, I can't recall exactly, but,
Well, let me help you out here. Did he grab you
yes,
with both hands?
I can't recall, but I know that I was on the floor.
Okay, so he grabbed you and somehow you ended up on the floor.
Right.
Okay. What happened after he threw you to the floor?
He punched me.
Punched. How many times did he punch you?
I cannot recall.
Where did he punch you?
In the face.
How many times? Or was it open hand or closed fist?
Again, I cannot recall.
Okay. Did he do anything else after that?
Roll around and I started defending myself.
Okay, so you wrestled for a little bit?
Yes,
Okay. And what did you do to defend yourself?
just tried to push him away from me.
Were you able to do so?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after you pushed him away from you?
He just got up and left, and I was left there.
Okay, you left what, the home?
Yes.
And what's the address of that home? Your address.
My address,
With your wife?
again, only raising his voice, or just, being tough, but nothing like that.
So he's been tough to your wife?
Just trying to confront
Objection,
her,
Your Honor.
but
He has
never
no
physical.
personal, objection, Your Honor. He has no personal knowledge about what's happened to the wife. They don't live together.
Well, the foundation has to be laid if he has seen anything.
Seen any time?
No,
Okay,
I haven't.
all right. You testified earlier that if the judge granted him probation, again, gave him a second chance, to try and give him the help that he needs,
Yes,
but why couldn't that help be given to him before?
because he wasn't willing to get the help. So I do want some sort of a plan or a recommendation to get him the help he needs.
And you think he'd be willing to do that now?
I cannot tell you, I cannot tell the future. I want him to,
You're wanting him to, but you don't know if he wants to, is what you're saying.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. I have no further questions. I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
No further question for this witness, Your Honor, but I do want to call Mrs. Ramirez to.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in and giving me some insight into your son. Thank you.
Lieutenant Ramirez?
All right. Do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Lisette Ramirez.
All right. You may proceed. Yes.
If it helps her, she can put her bag on.
Yes.
Wants to.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
All right. You'll need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you want to tell me about your son?
My son is a wonderful son. My son changed after my divorce. Unfortunately, I am responsible to see my son go down this way.
So what is his issue?
My son.
How old is he?
angry. My son is just turned 29 and here last week. I truly believe that I have a great son and he needs to let that anger go. And he can be productive in this life and be useful to people like I am. I take care of elderly people every day. I love people. And I know my children, I have two other daughters, and they are professionals, RN, and one in finances. So my son always wanted to be a good sportsman. That's why you see them build up this way. He was about, I think it's been like about 6 to 7 years when he worked on his own, no drugs, no nothing, just eating right on. He never liked fast food. He was always cooking and doing the best he could at home. Between siblings, they have always fights. Of course, he is a big guy. But in his mind, he's always had a future for him.
Okay, but you understand, yes, siblings fight, but you understand he's on deferred adjudication for choking his sibling, choking his sister.
I understand that.
So how old are his sisters?
Amanda is now 23
Mhm.
and Dana is 27.
All right, so he's 29 years old. It is not as though he is a 12-year-old or a person in high school who doesn't understand that his parents, their marriage didn't work out, they got a divorce. So I'm trying to figure out why this 29-year-old person who's standing before me, and he's been on probation since 2022, so that'll put him at 27 or maybe 26. Why is it a 26-year-old cannot report to probation, cannot do his community service hours? And he told me he didn't do his community service hours. His father paid it off for him at $7.25 per hour. So he hasn't done anything on probation. The only thing he has done, based upon the testimony that I've heard, is perhaps, and I'm not taking it as 100% true, but perhaps pick up new charges. That's all he's done. And they're violent charges. And the violence he has is against people who he claims that he loves. I'm assuming he loves them. So I don't understand. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. And the fact that you are divorced and maybe he took divorce hard, he's 29 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why this is happening.
So I want to give you an example. Lately, he was living with his dad. But when he was living in my house, I gave him a present for Christmas. It was a nice scarf and a picture of him and I together on the good times. And when I entered his room, my son switched the picture and it was the family together. When he was younger, we were at the Dodgers Stadium because we live in California. So I knew that my son, who is hurting, is still hurting, has that anger that we're not together as a family. His sisters move up and he stayed behind. I guess we weren't enough supported to my son when he needed it the most. My son is depressed. He doesn't get out like any 20-year-old. Everybody wants to go out party, not my son. My son is in a dark room or either on his phone, watching TV. Nothing motivates my son. This is not normal. I truly believe there is something that my son needs that needs to be balanced in life. And I'm sure there is something out there. I am praying to God that there is, because my son does not believe in jail. I am asking for help. I'm devoted to take care of people. So I'm not expecting, but I'm hoping that my son gets to be somebody. I've been contacting people about what is it called, Dianetics, to see what can benefit my son, reading a book that can lift my son so that he can be somebody, improve the world, that he can be whatever he wants to be in this world.
Are you willing to accept your son into your house?
I love my son, and I cannot see my son on the street begging for money when he has a home, when he has parents that can fight for him.
and
All right,
go-
so let me just stop everybody right here. If I even continue him on probation, let me just tell you what, he's not gonna be living with you. He's not gonna be living with your husband because that hasn't worked out. And everybody, what it appears to the court is you, your husband are treating him like the little boy in the photo that you're bringing up. That's a 29-year-old grown man who has not done anything. He got his father paying his community service hours off for him instead of him paying it. So he hasn't done anything. So if I were to continue him, and I'm not saying because I haven't made a decision yet, the whole thing with him living with you and living with his father or living with his sisters, that's off the table. That won't be happening. Because he needs to get a job. He needs to take responsibility for his own action. And 0 people can help him if he don't pick up the phone. He hasn't called probation in 2 years.
I understood that his father took him several times to the appointments. I don't know that his father had a complete view of when the appointments.
No, but see,
But
here's the
his-
thing. That's the thing. You and his father are acting like you all are on probation. You're not. It is not his father's job to see that he gets to the probation office. He's 29 years old. And let's say when he started on probation, he was 27 or 26. It's not like he's 18. And when you come to this court and you're 18, you're an adult, but I understand, it's an 18-year-old. Maybe their brains are not fully developed about the consequences of their choices. He knows the consequences of his choices. And you all are still acting as though I should have done this for him. I should have done. At some point, guess what? It is no longer your fault. At some point, these are choices that he's making. Is he going to be 55 years old and you all are coming up in here 90 or however old you're going to be saying, you know what? He's still, it's the breakup that we had. He still can't handle it. At some point, his choices are his own. It's not anybody else's choices. It's not his dad's choice. It's not your choice. And what I can tell you is, if I were to continue him on probation, he's not living with you. He's not living with his father. He's a grown man. Y'all may continue. So I just wanted to cut you all off from that train of thought that he's going to be going back living with his parents, because that's going to be a big no. So you may continue.
I just wanted to tell you that my son, at one point, he was on an anxiety pill. That was when he was in his teens. Of course, as he grew older, he didn't take the pill anymore. I do have, unfortunately, I have in my family depression, and I have schizophrenia, and I have epilepsy. So I know there's somewhere in the line some imbalance for my son to be acting this way. It's not just we're making it up or we're trying to cover up my son.
All
I
right.
just wanted to bring it to your attention.
No, I appreciate your insight. State any questions?
Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
A few questions for you, if you don't mind. You mentioned earlier that you believe this all began when you had a divorce, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what year it was you got divorced?
I got divorced, I believe in 2011.
2011,
Yeah.
okay. So you feel he's been acting this way since 2011?
It's slowly but surely it has, I think. It slowly but surely got up there.
When did you notice it started to increase?
I started to notice when my son came back to San Antonio because he had left after, he left after college to Oklahoma and came back.
Did he come back? Do you remember the year?
I can't remember the year.
That's fine. You mentioned earlier that you feel that he's depressed.
Yes.
When did you first notice that?
I noticed when, like I said, he came back from Oklahoma, he got a job. And then he had a very nice car and he had an awful accident. Well, my son fainted over here by the airport and his car got totaled. And
Do you think the accident had something to do with his mental state as well?
could it be?
Okay. Did you ever try and get your son help?
When he went to a cardiologist and they checked him out really quick, but was nothing like really
Well,
mental.
I was about to say, I should have probably asked it a better way. Did you ever try and get your son help for his mental health issue in the past?
Well, by that time, my son was already growing. I couldn't take him by the hand.
Did you
That's the
suggest
issue
anything?
we're having.
All right, but did you ever suggest to him that maybe he could use some mental health help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Has he ever formally been diagnosed with depression by a doctor or anything
No.
like that?
No,
Okay. Has he ever been aggressive with you in any way, physically?
no.
Okay. I'll pass the question.
Well, I got just one question. Has he ever been aggressive with other people in the
No,
community?
no neighbors, no nothing, not even the policeman when he came to pick him up, nothing.
No further questions.
All right, thank you so much for coming in
Thank
and talking
you.
with me. All right, any other questions?
Nothing from the school.
All right. All right, you're asking that he be continued in state. What are you requesting?
Based on the new charges, based upon what you just heard, this case, we're asking for 2 years prison.
All right, and probation, what is probation's recommendation?
Judge, the recommendation on the court summary is for revocation.
All right, the court is going to find you guilty, revoke. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Amanda Ramirez, therapeutic community, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. 2 years in the prison, and the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, the state asked for 2 years. I would have given you 8 because you have done absolutely nothing on probation. You're 29 years old. It's not your parents' fault. It's nobody's fault but your own. At some point in time, if you had a difficult childhood, it's like how many more years or how old must you be till it gets to the point where these are your choices, they're not your parents. You're 29. Your parents are divorced. Guess what? They're not getting back together. This is not like a Disney movie where something went weird and the parents are going to come together and decide they love each other. Not going to happen. They're not getting back together. You're going to have to accept that and move on. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. Thank you. You're charged with assault, family, household, impeding breath or circulation, and in cause number 2025 CR 0048086, you're charged with violation of bond or protective order 2 times or more within 12 months as a third-degree felony. Range of punishment in each of those cause numbers is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
In each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering into these plea bargain agreements, you were giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each cause number?
Yes, I did.
In each cause number, did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Counsel, in each cause number, I'm sorry, I'm just seeing who's coming in. All right, in each cause number, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has,
In
Judge.
each cause number, do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I believe he
In
does.
each cause number, do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I believe so, as to both cases.
Mr. Ross, in each cause number, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the pleas?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
In each cause number, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each cause number, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? In each cause number, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. There is a $1,500 fine. State is silent on your application. The cases will run concurrently. There's to be no contact with the complainant. And in the cause number ending in 3-3, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, that's
State.
my understanding.
Is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
In each cause number, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then in cause number 2025 CR 003533, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And in cause number 2025 CR 004086, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, with regard to both cases, state offers in the evidence they consider upon the full evidence.
Any
No,
objections?
no objection, Judge.
In each cause number, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony with your attorneys? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yeah.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, so in the cause number, and maybe I don't see it, in cause number 86, I don't see the other dates. I don't see the December 6th, December 11th.
What those dates are referring to, which I guess we could figure out how to put in the stipulations were, those were days that the defendant called the victim from jail. So those we reported to jail.
All right, so,
And we've been provided with those, Judge.
I'm sorry.
We've been provided those.
Well, are you stipulating that, because he pled no contest? Is there a stipulation that he made phone calls to the complainant from the jail on December 6, 2024, and December 11, 2024? And December 15, 2024, December 20th, 2024, and January 25th, 2025?
We're
Last date It's not, that was the part of the report attachments where he had allegedly had contacted her through social media after revocation.
All right.
So as far as that, Judge, we're pleading no contest. My client has no prior offenses. The
Well, no,
state
no, no,
can-
no.
Well,
I'm
no,
trying
but
to see if
I'm
there's,
Trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. As to our application for, we are applying for deferred adjudication. And so because of that, I would not want him to make any stipulation. So that's why I asked him to plead no contest. Because if the court should grant him deferred, then
well, here's the thing. I don't have that in the stipulations to prove the 2025 CR 004086. Now, if somebody's wants to amend this and attach jail calls, they can attach it, but I don't have enough proof in here for these other dates. The only date that I have in the stipulated evidence is I have a date from January 5th for violation of protective order. But the other dates I don't have in here. Sure. So if y'all want to step back, you can, but in cause number 2025 CR 03533, the court is finding that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt. It takes about 8 weeks to 12 weeks for a PSI. If you would like to have him come back without a PSI, but just have time to call witnesses, you're more than welcome to do so.
so I've conferred with my client, and I've also contacted family members, and my client wishes to waive PSI. And just have the court, and that was why we took a little bit of a recess, Judge, before we got on the bench, is just to confirm the criminal history. And so at this time, we're asking the court to waive PSI, and we proceed with sentencing today.
I'm sorry.
All right, in council, where are you saying this?
Can you repeat
this-
the dates, Judge?
The dates that
That they're in question?
the dates that are in question for the court are. I have a December 3rd. I have a December 5th date. So December 5th and count one, that's paragraph 1. So I'm looking for the December 6th date. I don't see the December 6th date in here. And then there's a December 11th date. I don't see the December 11th date in here. Okay, so where's the,
I think you downloaded it, and put it on the disk to have as part of the stipulation.
Well, December 2nd was the date of office. I was just trying to confirm that, Judge.
well, so here's the thing. If he's not going to stipulate that what's in the indictment, the dates, then we can't proceed. I can't proceed on those dates. And if there's no additional information that's given to the court, then the court is going to find him not guilty of this because,
And Your Honor, if I may, Ashley Jones for the record, all that's required for the statute is 2 offenses within a 12-year period. The first offense is gonna be, is it December 5th, which is listed in the report, and then the second offense would be the January 25th date, which is in the report. So that would be 2 violations within a 12-month period, and we can scratch or amend the.
all right, so y'all want to admit, all right. So we're back on the record. Well, I don't even see the January 25th date in here.
It says January 23rd, yes.
Well, that's well, they have it listed as report time. I don't know if that's the report time when they made the police report or the report time for this offense. Wait, just one moment. Let me see. All right. You're correct. So that on or about date time is the time when they filed the report, but also the time when she's saying it happened. So the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty in 2025 CR 004086. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. And you're saying that you wish to waive PSI?
That's correct.
All
That's
right, what do you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client, he's 27 years old. He is not a native to Texas. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm sorry? Chicago, Illinois. I apologize, but he, as mentioned before, he's 27 years old. The victim and him are obviously very familiar. They've been together since they were children. So I think since they were like 16 years old, is that right? 16,
15.
15, since they
All
were
right, does he
15.
want to testify?
No, Judge, just let me just finish. I'm so sorry.
All right, so you can't get information from him, then turn back to the court to give whatever information he's given you if he's not going to testify.
Okay, I'll just
All right.
proceed. I'm sorry, Judge.
No problem.
And they do have 3 children together. And obviously they've had a myriad of things happen, I guess, in their lives, and they have both matured and progressed. And my client wishes to accept responsibility. He understands that the only way he's going to see his children, because that was another thing that we talked about, was that there will be a no contact order. That is something that obviously he's vehemently opposed because he does have 3 children. And so I did advise him that this would be part of the plea agreement, and if he wants to hire a lawyer and, you know, get some custody issues and orders in place so that they can go around that order, you know, in order for him to be able to see his children, because obviously the state is not asking for a no contact order with the children. It would only be with the mother, the natural mother, which is the victim here. I have spoken to his father. I am not sure if yesterday he was on the Zoom and standby, and I mentioned him that he would at the same time today, and I don't know if he's in the waiting room or not, but notwithstanding, my client does want to go forward. His father obviously speaks very highly of him. Unfortunately, he did get arrested in February 27th, which is when he got booked for the last time. So he's been obviously in custody for almost going 3 months now. He's got health issues at the jail, Your Honor. He's got psoriasis. He lost about 110 pounds in those 3 months. So he's had some kind of health limitations. And so a lot of that is going into why we have this agreement. You know, obviously, you know, I've explained to him multiple times, you know, that we could ask for a jury trial from the court. But, you know, given the history with these people, you know, that obviously he wants to accept responsibility, and he's wanting to do that today, Judge. And with respects to just putting it on the record, I do want to state that, you know, we took a little bit of time going over the criminal history. There was a jury trial that happened in December of 2019 in Indianapolis, Indiana. So that's why, I'm sorry, I was confused about the city, that there was an actual jury trial, and he was adjudicated not guilty with the same victim. There was also, I want the court to take judicial notice of clause number 2025 CI 04103. There was an application for protective order that was made by the victim February 25th, 2025, and it was non-suited in April 17th of 2025. My understanding, and prosecutor wouldn't really talk to me too much with respects to the protective order, Ms. Colon, but she did confirm that it was non-suited due to her leaving the state. So the victim,
Due to what?
the witness leaving the state.
Okay.
So as we stand here today, we have, obviously my client hasn't had any contact with her since then. And then, but she has been in contact with the state, which obviously, you know, we know that is for a fact, but obviously he's very concerned for his children. He wants to know their whereabouts. And he did meet with a recruiter, and I did speak to him on the phone. He would not come in for the PSI. His name is, let me see, his name is Eggerson is his last name, Sergeant Eggerson, and I did call the number. Let me see, on Potranco Road. It's 11223 Potranco Road, and unfortunately, Mr. Ross was in the process of being recruited to the Army. And so obviously he understands that accepting responsibility for this charge, and should the court grant him deferred, he will not be able to possess a weapon while he's on deferred. But the hope, I guess, is that once he's completed, the deferred is that he'll be able to enlist at that time. So our agreement right now is 4 years. Now the court can give him probation, the court can sentence him, or the court can give him deferred, which I believe he's legally entitled to because he has no convictions.
What do you
He's-
mean he's entitled to deferred adjudication
Okay,
legally?
well, I would ask the court to take that into consideration, that he has no legal convictions under any other ordinary circumstances. He has no prior offenses,
Okay,
no
but,
convictions. And so
But if you're
because he's a
saying he's-
first-time offender,
all right, but if you're saying he's legally entitled to deferred adjudication on this
I
case?
have no statute.
All right,
If the court, I have no statute, but I'm just saying as a matter of principle, as a matter of, mercy on my client, the court, I should hope, at least, because again, he's also been in contact with, being recruited, that he would be granted deferred adjudication. And, he wants to move on with his life. He wants to start probation. He understands that should the court grant him probation, he'll have to be here for 45 days, right? You
I
understand?
understand.
You understand it? And that if he wants his probation to be transferred to Indiana, it'll have to be transferred within that timeframe.
all right, so what I can
And
tell
they'll
you,
have to accept the
he's not a
transfer.
good candidate for probation.
He's not?
No, he's not. And let me just tell you why. Based upon everything that I've seen, there was a protective order in place, and you were calling the complainant from the Bear County Jail. I mean, does he not understand what no contact means? No contact means no contact. And then we have this charge where you're choking her. So he's not a good candidate for probation. I'm not giving him probation.
Well,
In each
Judge,
cause number, I'm finding him guilty. I'm going to sentence him to 4 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. The cases are to run concurrently. There's to be no contact with the complainant and no contact with minors. And cause number and cause number 2025 CR 003533. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal in each cause number? With your attorney, did you understand it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because one of these cases carries an affirmative finding of family violence, and also because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney.
Sorry, may I speak to my bad, please?
Your attorney said that she did not want you to speak. The court has passed sentence.
I didn't know that I couldn't. I thought I had the whole time to testify. I thought she would.
I asked you if
All
you
right,
wanted
so,
for jury trial.
they're gonna take you back. If
Can I
there's something
please-
else you all want to discuss, if you want to file a motion, you can file a motion and the court will hear that
Can I
motion.
please speak on my behalf? Can I please speak on my
I don't know what
behalf?
you-
I just want to testify. I didn't.
Patrick Washington,